Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 20th of October and we are going to deal with two very important topics which are in news. The first topic is Belt and Road Forum. The Belt and Road Forum is basically related to the Belt and Road Initiative of China. This initiative was started in the year 2013. However, when it was started in 2013, its name was One Belt, One Road. And in 2016-17, the name was changed to BRI and OBOR ceased to exist. It is a major, I would say, infrastructure development program of the Chinese government which aims to connect three continents, that is Asia, Africa and Europe, by multimodal connectivity. The government of China is going to do the investment in that, along with other governments. Why was this in news? This was in news because in China there was a forum where the Chinese government invited the major stakeholders in this summit. There are reports that India was also invited, but India did not attend, since India is not part of it also. Now, next is a related news only, that is Trans-Himalayan Multi-Dimensional Connectivity Network. Picking up this topic with Belt and Road Initiative so that you get a proper understanding that how Belt and Road Initiative is extending to our neighboring country, Nepal. Because this Trans-Himalayan Multi-Dimensional Connectivity Network is a connectivity network or multimodal connectivity network between Nepal and China. So these two topics for today we will be covering. The Belt and Road Forum. Many global leaders from across the world, presidents, prime ministers of various countries who are interested in this Belt and Road Initiative of China met in Beijing, China. And multilateral groupings like ASEAN as well as the United Nations head Mr. Antonio Guterres had also attended this meeting. Some notable attendees, Nepal, Pakistan, our neighboring countries were also there. Now, China has this ambitious program which is now named as Belt and Road Initiative, started in 2013. When it was started in 2013, it was named as One Belt, One Road, but over the years, that is 2016-17, its name was changed to Belt and Road Initiative. It is a mega infrastructural connectivity project which aims to connect three continents: Asia, Africa and Europe through multimodal connectivity. The target year which the Chinese government has set for its completion is 2049, which also marks 100 years of independence of China. This Belt and Road Initiative was, according to some experts, on a back burner for a few years, but since the last 2-3 years, it has again become a priority. In 2021, China released its 14th five-year plan and this project received the highest budget. Budgetary allocation was highest for BRI. So let's see the details of this BRI and what are the responses to BRI which other countries have taken, like India and USA. Now, the third Belt and Road Forum, the meeting was this, that was convened in Beijing, China on October 17 and 18. And the previously held meetings were first in 2017, second in 2019. Countries which attended, this is the list of countries which attended this summit, the third summit, and the notable ones are Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Nepal. All three are our neighboring countries. Another country which we need to understand is Russia. So, apart from it, you can see, how many countries did attend this particular meeting by China. They all are stakeholders and intend to benefit from this mega infrastructural connectivity project of China, that is Belt and Road Initiative. Now let us look at the Belt and Road Initiative first, the details. Now there are two terms in this Belt and Road Initiative. One is the belt, the other is the road. So we need to understand one thing very clearly, that the belt is this overland connectivity route which is there connecting Asia with Europe. However, on the other hand, if I say is this road, this is basically the maritime Silk Road. Road is not the overland connectivity. Road is the maritime connectivity. It is called as the maritime Silk Road, and the belt is basically that ancient silk route through which silk was transported from China to Europe. So they want to revive that, the Chinese. So that is why it is called as the ancient Silk Road or overland Silk Road, and this is called as the maritime Silk Road. You can see Kolkata part of it. But India initially was part of it from 2013 till 2019 we can say, but in 2019 India came out of the BRI. Reason why India came out of BRI was this corridor. Now in this Belt and Road Initiative there are multiple economic corridors. Like here it is the China-Pakistan economic corridor. This is China-Myanmar economic corridor. Now let's focus on this, that why we came out of the Belt and Road Initiative was that this China-Pakistan economic corridor is passing through the POK, that is Pakistan Occupied Kashmir. Pakistan Occupied Kashmir, a territory which is claimed by India but administered by Pakistan. And since it is claimed by India, India said that China should have sought permission from India while envisaging this corridor. But China did not seek, means that China is considering POK to be part of Pakistan. And hence it is a big question on our territorial integrity and sovereignty. Hence we back out from the Belt and Road Initiative of China. So this was the reason, and that is why in this picture you will not see Calcutta as part of it. This is not Calcutta, this is basically Coco Island of Myanmar. So this is China-Myanmar economic corridor coming here till Coco Island. Objectives of this One Belt One Road or the Belt and Road Initiative now. Creation of a unified large market, because there will be connectivity through land, through oceans also, and that makes use of both international and domestic markets. It will facilitate cultural exchange because people will go from one place to the other place, so culture will also flow along with the people. It is like this. To enhance mutual understanding and trust of member nations, that will foster an innovative environment with capital inflows, talent pool and technology database. So capital will flow from one country to the other country. Talent pool will flow, means labor will go from one place to the other place, and most importantly technology will flow from one place to the other place. Means the world, basically these three continents will be more close, will be more integrated. This is the basic objective of One Belt One Road. However, China being the factory of the world definitely will get access to many markets in these three continents. This is also one viewpoint. Now we need to understand certain viewpoints on BRI, and there are some scholars, notably both of them Chinese. So the first scholar, that is Zhu Li, he says that this is China's Marshall Plan. Now actually Marshall Plan was launched after the World War II, and it was for Europe, for reconstruction and redevelopment of Europe. And who was undertaking it? None other than the new superpower of that time, that is USA. So they are saying that it is China's Marshall Plan, BRI, because it wants to undertake construction, create connectivity projects, infrastructure projects in these three continents. It will enable transition of China from a regional power with global influence to a global power with comprehensive strength, if this becomes successful. So this is one viewpoint. Second viewpoint is of Wang Yiwei. Wang Yiwei argued that BRI was an ascendant to China's bid to reboot globalization. See, globalization is what? Integrating the economies and cultures of various countries. So Belt and Road Initiative will definitely do that. We've seen it in the objectives. So this is going to happen. A rising China also felt the need to develop new transport and trade arteries. This is interesting. Why China wants to develop new transport arteries or alternate routes? Let's go back to the map to understand this. Now this region, if you are seeing in the map closely, this region, Indonesia, Singapore, over here in Southeast Asia, there is a strait called as Strait of Malacca. And this Strait of Malacca is one of the world's busiest trade route. Majority of China's trade passes through Strait of Malacca. And China is fearful that if any country like India, which is in vicinity to Strait of Malacca, because we have the Andaman and Nicobar Islands here, comes and blocks this, so China's trade will be hampered. If USA comes and blocks this, because USA is also having immense presence in Southeast Asia, it will hamper China's trade, because all of China's trade from West Asia, from Africa, from Europe passes through this Strait of Malacca and goes to China like this. That is why China is, figuring out alternate routes, trade routes. This is also known as the Malacca dilemma of China. So, Mr. Wang Yiwei says that China feels that there is a need to develop new transport and trade arteries as alternatives, since rivals could put the squeeze on the Strait of Malacca and block its trade. So, I don't think so that countries like India have that intention, but yes, China thinks so. So, we cannot help it much. The importance of BRI for China. So, you understand that importance of BRI for China is this, the trade route, alternate trade routes, apart from it getting access to various markets. And there is more to it. See, this BRI was launched in 2013, the same year when Xi Jinping took the reins of China. Xi Jinping wanted to be labeled as a global statesman. He wanted to, extend his influence to the entire world. And then he came up with this plan. Notably, the Communist Party of China did not include BRI in its constitution till 2017, and it was only in 2017 it was included in or entered in the Communist Party of China's constitution. In the 14th five-year plan of China, which was announced in 2021, it got top billing, means maximum fund allocation to any project if it was done, it was to Belt and Road Initiative. Now, the Chinese government's white paper, named as the Belt and Road Initiative, a key pillar of the global communication or community of shared future, says that over 200 BRI cooperation pacts have been signed with around 150 countries till now, and which has mobilized or aimed to mobilize an investment of $380 billion. And this has happened between 2013 to 2022. But is there a need of such kind of a project? Globally thinking, not from the viewpoint of China. China will definitely say that yes, this is needed. But from a global viewpoint, if you think, is there such need of such kind of a project? The answer to this will lie in a one-liner statement that if there is infrastructure deficit, definitely these kind of projects are needed. And yes, there are infrastructure deficits globally, and we will understand, or we will see some facts and figures, like according to the World Bank, which is a global organization under the United Nations, and United Nations per se is dominated by the West. So what does it highlight? It says that 675 million people are without electricity globally. 2.3 billion people lack potable water. 450 million live beyond the coverage of broadband signal. Now, BRI, we need to understand one thing. It is about creating infrastructure, multimodal connectivity like roads, railways, ports, but also, establishing industries on those roads, alongside those roads, establishing, digital connectivity, electricity grids and all. This is also, part of BRI. So, infrastructure deficit definitely will be tackled. The lending institution calculates that bridging the infrastructure gap will need capital infusion of $1.5 trillion annually till 2030. Then this gap will be filled, which is approximately 4.5% of the GDP of low and middle income countries combined. So this is basically there. So if I calculate from 2023 till 2030, so it is around 7-8 years. The 1.5 into 7 or 8, whatever you want to do. So it is around this much. Under China's BRIs, motorways, power plants, ports, railway networks and digital infrastructure have been built. And Mr. Xi himself put it that BRI would provide more public goods to the entire world, highlighting the massive infrastructure deficit. That is why we have come up with such kind of a scheme, Mr. Xi Jinping says. And we cannot deny the fact that there is infrastructure deficit all across the world. Simultaneously, we cannot also deny another fact that China is laying countries in debt traps. Sri Lanka is a classic example, but Sri Lanka was here attending this forum again. So this is also one fact which we need to be considering. Now, the challenges in BRI. BRI has started since 2013. Projects are being constructed. It is being implemented. But there are certain challenges which are there in those projects. Like, first of all, ecological damage is not being assessed properly. Displacement of people again is not being assessed properly, because in many of these projects the Chinese workers are involved, but promised was that local people will get employment. So this happens a lot. Disputes over payouts and labor unrest. Labor unrest due to identity crisis happens. Payouts, it is believed that projects are completed or on the verge of completion, but the labor is not getting their payments. Now there's an example in Laos. Labor is not paid for high-speed rail and dam constructions over there. These projects are under BRI. Unsustainable debt. Sri Lanka is a classic example. But yes, apart from Sri Lanka, we can see another example, Laos. It owes $12.2 billion USD to China as loans, and this $12.2 billion is 65% of its GDP. So taking this much loan, is it sustainable? Maybe the next Sri Lanka will be Laos if Laos does not mend its ways. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC. This is, I would say, China terms it as the flagship program of the entire BRI. It starts from the Xinjiang province, Kashgar, and ends up in Gwadar port in Pakistan. And China and Pakistan both define their partnership that ties between the two nations were deeper than the oceans, sweeter than honey, and higher than the Himalayas. So we don't know. Actually, we know, but we don't know what is going to be the future, because in the Gwadar port, 91% of revenue is taken by China. Only 9% is left for Pakistan. How much sustainable it is? We don't know. Will Pakistan be able or be satisfied with just 9% of the revenue? China obviously is satisfied with 91%, or it doesn't matter whether China is satisfied or not, but is Pakistan satisfied with 9% revenue? That is a big question. Global alternatives to this. China started BRI, it is fine. When it was started, it was OBOR, but now BRI. But United States obviously will come up with an answer. So United States, during the Donald Trump administration, they adopted this United States-Japan infrastructure investment alternatives in the Indo-Pacific region with United States and Japan. The Joe Biden administration came up with Build Back Better World, B3W, and last year this was renamed as Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment, which is called as PGII. Then now recently in the G20 summit, India came up with India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, which is going to connect India with Middle East and then Europe via Mediterranean Sea. So in Middle East, rail and road connectivity has to be built. And when it came up with IMEC, so Joe Biden was very happy and there was a combined summit, PGII and IMEC. We covered it during G20. Both of us do not want Chinese dominance. And both of us are not part of the Belt and Road Initiative. So let us see how sustainable these will be. Will they be able to compete with BRI? Will BRI in itself be completed? That is a big question that has to be answered. Trans-Himalayan Multi-Dimensional Connectivity Network. Nepal is the only country which is part of the Buddhist circuit. Buddhist circuit connects all those places which have significance attached with the life of Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha was born in Lumbini, and hence Lumbini is part of the Buddhist circuit, Lumbini in Nepal. China launched its Belt and Road Initiative. Now under this, China last year announced, that is in August 2022, the Trans-Himalayan Multi-Dimensional Connectivity Network, which is a multi-dimensional or multimodal connectivity connecting China with Nepal. And coincidentally, this Trans-Himalayan Multi-Dimensional Connectivity Network ends up in Lumbini, which is part of the Buddhist circuit from here, that is India. So there is geopolitics also involved in the Belt and Road Initiative. Definitely, it is quite commonsensical. So let us look at this first, that what it is. So from China's side, there will be road connectivity connecting various, I would say, cities of Nepal, as well as rail connectivity. Nepal is a landlocked country which needs more and more alternate trade routes. It presently depends largely on India for its international trade. But with this coming into picture, the dependence on India may be reduced. The geostrategic footprint of China in Nepal definitely will increase through this. And Nepal was also there attending this forum this year. So this is how it is happening. Now about this Trans-Himalayan Multi-Dimensional Connectivity Network, it was proposed in 2019 between Nepal and China as part of China's Belt and Road Initiative, and last year the stone was laid, that is in August 2022. The corridor aims to enhance connectivity in ports, roads, railways, aviation and communications. The Trans-Himalayan Multi-Dimensional Connectivity Network aims to pave the way for more integration between China and the rest of South Asia, solidify border controls and aid in the economic development and integration of China's TAR. TAR stands for Tibetan Autonomous Region. So let us look at the Tibetan Autonomous Region also through maps. This, the pink portion which you are seeing, is Tibetan Autonomous Region. Here is Nepal. So this Trans-Himalayan connectivity network is coming like this in Nepal. Rail connectivity, road connectivity. This will also help in development of this Tibetan Autonomous Region. This is what China is aiming and claiming. Also, Pakistan is here. So it will be an entire web of network in the northern side of India. And definitely it will be enough to subjugate India. So this is how it has to be understood. And this is it from today's session. I will be meeting you tomorrow with more such informative pieces. Till then, you guys know very well what to do. Keep studying, keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep revising. Namaste. Jai Hind.